India will start a special journey from December 26 with a three-match test series in South Africa, a land where they have never won a series in the longest format. Virat Kohli's India tried their best in 2018, but the Proteas were too good. In 2021, the Indian team, now vastly improved with their winning experiences in Australia and England, are ready to give it another shot in the Rainbow Nation. Hello and welcome to News 9. I am Shubhayan Chakravarti and joining me is Nikhil Narayan to preview the much awaited India's test series against South Africa. Nikhil, the final frontier for India, the only land where they are yet to win a test series. How do you look at this series, the three-match test series against South Africa?
Yes, Shubhayan, I think this is India's best chance to win a series in South Africa. It is the only major test playing nation which India hasn't conquered. Overall, they've played 20 matches there. They've won only 3, one in 6, one in 10 and one in 18. They've lost 10 and drawn 7. Out of 7 series played there, they've lost 6. They've drawn 1 in 2010. South Africa has been a difficult place for India because of the bounce, pace, the quality of bowlers, Donald, Pollard, Kitini, over the Rabada, Dale Steyn over the years. Also, but this tour, I mean, a lot is riding on this tour, not only for Team India, but for Virat Kohli as a captain.
Absolutely.
With all that has transpired in Indian cricket in the last 3 to 4 months, he doesn't have limited overs captaincy now. So he wants to win and become the first Indian captain, the first captain to win a series in South Africa for India, which would mean that he becomes the first Indian captain to win a series in Australia and then South Africa, which will truly be historic, and he'll go down as an all-time Indian great, captaincy-wise.
Absolutely.
So a lot riding on this series, Shubhayan.
100%, and that is what makes this series more intriguing. The sort of negative headlines the Indian team has been making, with comments, with statements from the administrators to the players, from to former players as well. So things are pretty dicey at the moment when it comes to Indian cricket, but this South Africa tour, if they can win this, it will overshadow every negative headlines they have made so far. But India's batting in South Africa, that has been the major concern so far. The pace attack which India have taken to South Africa is world class, but the batting is something which they need to focus on precisely.
Absolutely, Shubhayan. In fact, India's batting average in South Africa is the lowest amongst all test playing nations. It's as low as 24.26.
Wow.
Again, in the 90s and early 2000s, India were absolutely routed in South Africa. They started, giving a fight from the mid 2000 onwards.
Absolutely.
2006, 10, 18, 13. But South Africa has been a very, very difficult place for India, and that shows in the numbers. Also, if you see, that not only is South Africa a difficult place for the Indian batsmen historically, but the current form of the Indian batsmen, and we have graphics for that also. The current form of Rahane, Virat Kohli and Cheteshwar Pujara.
We will come to the big three later on, but yes, obviously the batting was, as you said, the lowest average among all the test playing nations. It is something very shocking, and the likes of KL Rahul, Virat Kohli, Pujara, all this experience, and even the youngsters will have that sort of pressure to do well in South Africa with the bat. But a player who will be missing this series, Nikhil, Rohit Sharma. What a big blow that is for the Indian team.
It's a massive blow, Shubhayan, because Rohit Sharma has been India's best batsman by far, since he started opening the innings. Most of his high impact innings came when the big three failed. Whether it was that brilliant 161 in Chennai when the chips were down, the 100 at the Oval. Rohit Sharma has produced his best when Rahane, Kohli and Pujara have failed, and they haven't done well in the last couple of years. Rohit Sharma, what he does is scores big runs, also at a high strike rate. Therefore, he takes the attack to the opposition bowlers, also creating time for India. It is a big loss for India, it will affect the series scoreline to an extent. It's that big a loss, I think, Rohit Sharma not playing for India in this series.
Absolutely, but that brings an opportunity for two best friends, KL Rahul and Mayank Agarwal, to open the innings together. Remember, they both made their test debut in the Boxing Day test, and it was Mayank who had replaced KL Rahul in his test debut in the Boxing Day test at the MCG against Australia, and he did well there.
Correct.
And Mayank has been coming in a good run of form, so is KL Rahul. So hopefully they will sort of negate the missing factor of Rohit Sharma. But what about the big three? Obviously, we are not yet sure whether Ajinkya Rahane will start the first match, first, second, or third test in South Africa. But the form of the big three, Pujara, Kohli, and Rahane, it's absolutely shocking.
Yes, I mean, Rahane's average this year is less than 20. I mean, that says it all. We don't need to look into any other numbers. Rahane most probably won't start, and we'll discuss this later in the show. Pujara has been good overseas. He's not been outstanding, but he's been good overseas. He's played some crucial knocks in Australia, in Sydney, and in Brisbane. Virat Kohli is another, no international hundreds now since the 100 against Bangladesh at the Eden Garden. It's been more than 2 years. Test average is around 26.
The last time he visited South Africa, he would be itching to replicate that sort of form, right?
If he can even get 80% of what he did in South Africa last year, the highest scorer in the Test series and the ODI series, I think I think Virat Kohli is hurting, and I'm expecting Virat Kohli to hit
Fire
a
all
purple patch
cylinders.
in this series. Yes, he is hurting, and I think he's going to fire on all cylinders in this series.
Absolutely, and you can see the record of Virat Kohli as well. Only 2 centuries in 5 matches. The last time he visited there,
South Africa,
only 2 centuries, but the sort of average he hit there, hitting 50s consistently, the 40s consistently, scoring centuries in ODI series. He was only scoring in tons.
300s in the series. Yeah, I mean, Kohli was in brilliant form in South Africa last season. The century he got at Centurion in the Test match was absolutely fantastic. Also, he got crucial runs in the Johannesburg win, which was a consolation Test match. Crucial runs in both the innings. So Virat Kohli, and I mean, the one-day achievement is, it's gone down in history as one of the finest in any ODI series. No one has scored more runs in a bilateral series in ODI cricket history than what he did in South Africa last time around. So as we said, this is a big series for Virat Kohli. The bat can make a statement.
Absolutely, but Nikhil, one of the factors for which India can script history in South Africa this time around, and I am hopeful about that, is because of the pace bowling department.
Absolutely.
What a turnaround it was in South Africa in 2018, where this Indian pace bowling attack started to get this revolution get going in the Test format. Be it Ishant Sharma came back pretty strongly. It was the debut series for Jasprit Bumrah. Mohammad Shami was coming back after his problems in personal lives. So, and they made absolutely stunning performance there, although the batters did disappoint last time around.
Absolutely. I mean, there are many fine bowling attacks in the world, fast bowling attacks. There's Hazelwood, Cummins, etc. in Australia. South Africa has a good one. Pakistan has a good one. But I think this Indian current bowling unit, Mohammad Shami, Jasprit Bumrah, Ishant Sharma to an extent, Umesh Yadav, I mean, they have been absolutely phenomenal.
Best average for fast bowlers since 2018.
Absolutely. And look at that. And they're competing against the Australians, the South Africans, the Pakistanis, and the best bowling average for any fast bowling unit since 2018. Individually also, all their bowling averages are less than 25, which is a phenomenal effort in this time period. It is one of the major reasons, Shubhayan, that this Indian team has won in Sena countries.
Absolutely.
They won in Australia 2 times in a row. Not many countries in the history of world cricket have achieved that feat, what India did in Australia. One of the primary reasons was their fast bowling unit.
Absolutely. And you have to, the last time they visited, they didn't have the youth and exuberance of Mohammad Siraj. This time they have that as well. So it is a pretty potent pace bowling department, but one bowler who can overshadow the pace heroics is Ravichandran Ashwin. What a champion bowler. He has been in headlines due to his interviews and due to Ravi Shastri's interviews, but what a champion bowler he is, and the focus will be on him in the absence of Ravindra Jadeja.
Absolutely. For me, the greatest spinner in the world currently. His transformation in Sena started in 2018, interestingly, from the South African tour. Till 2015, he had very average numbers in Sena countries, as we can see in the graphics. And then he was dropped. Jadeja was preferred as the #1 spinner overseas. So he didn't play in Sena countries for 2.5 years. Since 2018, since the South African tour, his numbers have been phenomenal. He is not only a restrictive bowler, but a wicket taker in Sena countries. And I think Ashwin is going to play a big role. And I don't think Virat Kohli is going to drop Ashwin this time around.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is what makes things pretty interesting as well, because Ravichandran Ashwin hitting in his peak form, we can say, in Test cricket. and is looking for many more records as well, and he will be itching to go
Past Kapil Dev.
go and surpass Kapil Dev and script many more wins for India and possibly history as well. But let's move to South African team, Nikhil. Before the series started, they had a big blow. Hendrik Nokia, one of their leading pace bowlers, perhaps in better form than Kagiso Rabada, he has been ruled out.
Absolutely. You know, Nokia was the best fast bowler in the UAE leg of the IPL, amongst the best fast bowlers in the World T20, raw pace, consistently above 145 kilometers per hour, and almost bowling body line. You know, the ball is bouncing at your throat. He also has a fantastic test record, just 12 test matches, but 47 wickets, a fantastic strike rate, which shows his prowess of taking wickets. In fact, since his debut, he has a better strike rate than Rabada. So, you know, Nokia not being there, and most of his wickets, I think around 34 of his 47 wickets in Test cricket have been of the top order.
Yeah.
So which means he gets specialist batsmen out early in his spell. Him not being there is going to be a big loss for South Africa, a big, massive loss. Shubhayan.
Absolutely, and the Proteas would be thinking that the returning Duan Oliver can create some impact. He has been in sensational run of form in domestic circuit. He has the best strike rate, if I am not wrong, in Test cricket as well among the active bowlers. So that speaks a lot about his talent. But Nikhil, one thing which makes me hopeful of India series win this time around is South Africa's batting unit. Absolutely woeful, I would say. Apart from Dean Elgar, Aiden Markram and Rassie van der Dusen, I don't see Quinton de Kock you can add, but he would be missing the second test as well. So a pretty mediocre batting lineup.
Very mediocre batting lineup. You know, since AB's retirement, their numbers have been abysmal, Shubhayan. You know, all the great stalwarts, you know, AB de Villiers, you know, Hashim Amla, Faf du Plessis, they left one after the other. And look at the numbers. I mean, South Africa has, I think, the second worst batting average amongst all test teams, only better than the West Indies. The innings per 100 ratio is also amongst the worst. Again, better than only the West Indies. So, I mean, compare this to the great South African team dominating in the early 2000s, mid 2010s. This team has gone down drastically. And even the batting average, only Quinton de Kock has a batting average of above, you know, 40 since AB's retirement. Rest, they're in the 35, some are below 20. Even Elgar and Markram are not, you know, are in the mid 30s to below 30. So, you know, South Africa's batting is their biggest concern, and I think the Indian bowlers will be all over them.
Absolutely, but Indian bowlers do have an advantage going into the series when it comes to bowling against the South African batting unit, given the sort of form the South Africans are at the moment. But the biggest headache for the Indian management, Rahul Dravid, even Virat Kohli, is that to finalize the playing 11. That is going to be a big headache. They have taken the experienced, although out of form Ajinkya Rahane, they have returnee Hanuma Vihari, Shreyas Iyer, who made a sensational start to his test career, and they have Pujara as well in that lineup. So what would you make of that playing 11? Have you thought of anything, Nikhil?
Yeah, I mean, I think Rohit Sharma not being there makes it pretty straightforward for the opener slot. Agarwal and Rahul will open. I think then we have Pujara, Kohli, that sort of fits in. Number 5 is the contentious issue. You know, I don't think Rahane will play, Shubhayan. I think it will be a toss-up between Vihari and Iyer. Difficult to drop Iyer after that great performance on debut, but Vihari has given a great account of himself in South Africa, the A side, and also his temperament, what he did in Sydney, what he did in the Caribbean. He has a great temperament. Most of his test matches have been overseas. So I think Vihari may just get the nod ahead of Shreyas Iyer. I think rest Rishabh Pant, Ashwin, Shardul Thakur will fit in as the all-rounder, Jadeja not being there, and we have Bumrah, Shami and Mohammad Siraj.
So you are playing Siraj in place of experienced Ishant Sharma or Umesh Yadav?
I think it's time to play Siraj. You can't just leave him, you know.
The sort of form he has shown in Test cricket, I think.
Absolutely. Whenever he's given in India or overseas, he's delivered. You have to, you know, give him a slightly longer rope now.
Absolutely. That's our News 9's predicted playing 11 for the series opener against South Africa, and it will be fascinating to see which team Indian team plays in the playing 11. But do let us know your comments as well. What do you think should be the Indian playing 11 for the series opener against South Africa? Nikhil, that was it for it. Thank you so much for joining in. Well, the India store of South Africa promises to be a cracker of a contest, and we will continue to give you all the updates when it comes to the cricketing action as well as other sports as well. For more such videos and news from all around the sporting world, like, share and subscribe to News 9.